Hello, welcome to another tutorial, piano tutorial. In this time, we're going to figure out how can we identify the major chord versus the minor chord and just identify any chord in general in the music. Okay, so I have these notes over here in my notebook that shows every single chord we have available, and I'm talking about the triads. In this case, we have that major chord have first, third, and fifth, and minor chords have first, the third is minor, and the fifth. Okay, and to find the distance between C and E, in this case, the first to the third is 4 semitones, and from the third to the fifth is 3 semitones, and we're going to see that in a keyboard in a minute. So I have the regular notes, and then I have the sharp notes, or we can call it those notes that we have over here that have two names. In this case, I just named them sharp. And here's the other part, okay? So let's take a look at these over here on the keyboard. So basically, I have my triad, which is first, third, and fifth, okay? So that's my triad, and this chord is C major. So one easy way is just to memorize the chords, and another one is just to count. So in this case, I start counting when I start moving. So 1, 2, 3, 4 semitones from the first to the third, and then 1, 2, 3. The third to the fifth is 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 4 semitones so that I get into the third, and from the third to the fifth I have 3 semitones. Okay, so that will be the same distance for every single chord, major chord that you want to create. Obviously, I'm not talking about the inversions, because the inversion is just the same thing. It's just that I move the notes to another position, in this case over here, and then from here I move it there. So inversion is I just have the same notes put in a different place, practically. So this one, I can move it here. I can also move it here. The reason we use inversion is because that helps us stay in a single space without having to do too much movement. But anyway, we're not talking about inversions in this video. We can talk about that in other videos that I'm planning to upload. In this case, we're going to focus on finding the major and the minor and those other chords that seem to be difficult, but they are not. So if I have this C major, I can do the same thing if I want to try to find, like for instance, D major. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, first, third, fifth. And that's my D major, so this will be E major, F major, G major, A major, B major, and then I come back to C. So these are my 7 major chords, and from the 7 notes, so C major, D major, E major, F major, G major, A major, and B major, okay? So from here, it's so easy to identify the minor. So all I have to do is basically the third one, drop it into the left, and then I have my C major. So if I have D major, I diminish the third, and then I have D minor. E major, diminish the third, and then I have E minor. F major, F minor. G major, G minor. A major, A minor. B major, B minor. Okay? Now, for those of you who are wondering, okay, I got that, but how about the sharps and the flats, those chords that seem to be difficult? Well, they are not. So if I have C, and if I have to go to C major, so this note here, basically, if you take a close look, is between these two notes, which means this note can be called C major, or it can also be called D flat. Okay, because it's halfway, these two, therefore it has to be halfway step, and it will have both names of these because they share it they're in the middle of these, so they share half and half of the name of that note, which means you can use either one. So in this case, I can call that note C sharp or D flat. And I'll put those names in a minute. So D sharp or E flat. So anytime you see this note over here, all you have to do, any of the notes over here on the top, is very simple. Just all you have to do is look what's around them. For instance, this can be called C sharp or D flat because it's in the middle of these two notes. And this note is in the middle of these two, therefore it can be called D sharp or E flat. The same for this note, it can be called F sharp or G flat. Okay, the same thing for these other notes. This note, so G sharp or A flat, A sharp or B flat. Okay, so once we got the basic idea on that, so we have this, all we have to do is increase the half step each note. So here, here, and there. And then we have or C sharp. And then from D, I can increase half step each note, and I can have D sharp, and I can also call this chord E flat major. So I have F. So F major, I can increase half step each one of these notes, and I have F sharp or G flat. G major, so G sharp. Okay, G sharp major or A flat major. And then from here, or let's say A major, so I increase each one of these. And then I have A sharp major or B flat major. And if I want to do, for instance, let's say I have B major, well, guess what? This is, so if I'm here, I drop each one of these and I get into C, but it can also be called B sharp. But we almost never are going to see it that way, okay? Just letting you know that that's possible. So let's say you want to do the minor of any of those. Well, if you have your C minor, well, you do the same technique. And then you have your C sharp minor or D flat minor. If you have D major, D minor, from here you can increase half step each one of these notes. You have your D sharp minor or E flat minor, okay? So I hope you like this video, you find this interesting and you learn something from this. If you like the video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Bye-bye.